All right, let's be honest. Once you hit 60, you're not looking to win any races. You're looking for comfort, stability, and a boat that doesn't make you feel like you need knee surgery after a weekend aboard. At this stage of life, it's not about speed. It's about coffee in a real mug, a solid handrail where you need it, and an engine that starts every single time without drama. You want a boat that feels safe, steady, and built like it came from a time when things were overbuilt on purpose. So today we're talking about the 10 best trawlers for men over 60. Boats that are easy to handle, comfortable to live on, and tough enough to cruise the loop, the coast, or wherever you feel like pointing the bow. These are real boats for real cruising, not floating condos with a midlife crisis. And if you enjoy practical, no-nonsense boat talk like this, go ahead and subscribe. I put out new videos every week for guys who care more about seamanship and comfort than showing off at the marina. Let's get into it. If there's one boat that screams timeless trawler, it's the Grand Banks 42 Classic. This thing has probably carried more retirees down the intracoastal than any other hull out there, and for good reason. It's steady, predictable, and laid out in a way that just makes sense. What I like about the 42 Classic for guys over 60 is the balance. You get wide side decks with real handrails, a proper inside helm for bad weather, and that big, comfortable salon with windows everywhere. You're not climbing over furniture to get around. It feels secure. Most of them came with twin diesels, usually Lehman 120S, which are simple, mechanical, and known to run forever if maintained. At 8 knots, you're sipping fuel and enjoying the ride instead of worrying about range. The teak interior is warm and traditional. Some folks call it dated. I call it character. And when you're living aboard, that warmth matters. It's not flashy. It's not fast. But if you want a proven cruising platform that's already done what you're planning to do, the Grand Banks 42 is about as safe a bet as it gets. The Kadey-Krogen 42 is for the guy who doesn't just want to cruise the coast. He wants the option to keep going. This is a true blue water trawler, full displacement, heavy, and built to cross oceans at a steady pace. One of the biggest advantages here is the single-engine setup. That big diesel just chugs along at 7 to 8 knots, and the fuel efficiency is impressive for a boat this size. Fewer systems than a twin-engine setup also means less to maintain, which starts to matter more the older we get. Step inside and you immediately feel how solid the boat is. Thick fiberglass, deep bulwarks, and a Portuguese bridge up front that makes moving around safer in rough weather. It was designed for passage-making, not marina hopping. The layout is comfortable for a couple. Large master stateroom, real storage, and a galley you can actually cook in without bracing yourself every second. If you're over 60 and still have that itch for serious adventure, but you want to do it at a calm, steady pace, this is one of the most respected platforms ever built for exactly that mission. Now let's talk about something a little lighter and easier to manage. The Mainship 34 is a great choice for someone who wants trawler style without handling a 45-foot heavyweight. This boat is practical. That's the word that fits. It's affordable, relatively simple, and most models came with a single diesel that's easy to access in a roomy engine compartment. You're not crawling into a coffin just to change a filter. The 34 has a lower profile, which makes docking less intimidating, especially in windy conditions. Many owners operate these comfortably as a couple without extra crew. The side decks are workable, and visibility from the helm is solid. Inside, it's bright. Big windows, simple finishes, and a layout that works well for weekend trips or extended cruising. It may not have the old-school teak charm of a Grand Banks, but it feels open and livable. For a man over 60 who wants to downsize from a bigger boat or step up from something smaller without going overboard, the Mainship 34 hits that sweet spot between comfort, cost, and manageability. The Nordic Tug 32 has that salty tugboat look, and it's not just for show. This is a semi-displacement hull that gives you options. Cruise at trawler speeds or bump it up when weather or schedules demand it. What makes this boat appealing later in life is how easy it feels. The single engine is reliable and efficient, and the boat responds well at low speeds. Tight marinas are less stressful when your boat listens to you. The interior is compact but smartly laid out. The salon and helm share the same space, so you're never isolated from your crew. Large windows provide excellent visibility, which is something I value more every year. You also get a comfortable forward stateroom and a usable galley. It's not a floating mansion, but it's cozy in a good way. Everything is within reach. For someone who wants the ability to cruise coastal waters, handle changing conditions, and still dock without breaking a sweat, The Nordic Tug 32 delivers capability without overwhelming you. If space and comfort are high on your list, the DeFever 44 deserves serious attention. This boat feels like a small apartment on the water, and for long-term cruising, that extra room makes a big difference. The full displacement hull gives you a stable, easy motion at trawler speeds. You're not pounding through waves, you're moving through them. That matters when your back doesn't appreciate surprises anymore. One of the best features is the aft cabin layout. You get a true master stateroom with privacy, often with an island berth and plenty of storage. For couples planning extended trips, that separation from the guest cabin is a blessing. Deck space is generous, with wide walkarounds and sturdy rails. Moving forward feels secure, even in less than ideal conditions. It's a bigger boat, no question. But if you're comfortable handling mid-40-foot yachts and want the live-aboard comfort to match your retirement plans, the DeFever 44 offers serious cruising ability wrapped in a practical seagoing package. The Marine Trader 38 double cabin is one of those boats you see all over the loop, and there's a reason for that. It offers a lot of space for the money, and for a guy over 60, space equals comfort. This is a classic aft cabin layout. You get a private master stateroom in the back, usually with its own head, and a guest cabin forward. That separation makes long trips with friends or grandkids a whole lot more pleasant. Most of these came with simple diesel setups, often a single Ford Lehman or twins depending on the year. They're not complicated boats. Systems are straightforward, and that's a blessing when you're the one maintaining them. The side decks are usable, and the flybridge gives you great visibility on calm days. When the weather turns, you've got a lower helm to stay warm and dry. It's not a high-end yacht. Fit and finish can vary. But if you find a well-maintained example, the Marine Trader 38 delivers livability and cruising capability at a price that doesn't wreck your retirement plan. The Willard 36 is for the man who believes heavier is better and slow is smart. This is a full-displacement, solid fiberglass trawler built with one goal in mind: durability. These boats have a reputation for being incredibly tough. Thick hull, simple systems, and a single diesel engine that just keeps turning. You're not buying this boat to impress anyone at the marina. You're buying it because you want something that feels dependable. The motion underway is steady and predictable. At 7 knots, it feels like the boat is in its comfort zone. That kind of consistency builds confidence, especially when you're cruising longer distances. Inside, the layout is practical. It's not flashy or oversized, but it's functional. You get a comfortable salon, workable galley, and a forward stateroom that's more than adequate for a couple. The Willard 36 appeals to guys who appreciate old-school craftsmanship. If you like the idea of owning a boat that was built thick, simple, and meant to last decades, this one checks a lot of boxes. The Hatteras 43 double cabin brings serious build quality to the trawler-style conversation. Hatteras built these boats heavy, solid, and unapologetically strong. Even though it's technically more of a motor yacht, it cruises comfortably at trawler speeds. You don't have to push it hard. At 8 or 9 knots, it settles in nicely and feels planted in the water. The interior space is impressive. A full-beam aft master cabin, separate guest stateroom, and a roomy salon make it feel substantial. If you plan to spend months aboard, that extra elbow room makes a real difference. Most came with twin Detroit diesels. They're not the most fuel-efficient engines out there, but they're well-known and widely supported. Parts and knowledge are easy to find. This is a boat for someone who values American craftsmanship and doesn't mind managing a larger vessel. If you want something that feels solid underfoot and built to outlast trends, the Hatteras 43 is hard to ignore. The Ranger Tugs R31 is a modern take on the compact cruising trawler. It's a great option for someone over 60 who wants simplicity without giving up comfort. At 31 feet, it's manageable. Docking doesn't feel like a production. Many models come with a bow thruster and stern thruster, which makes tight marinas far less stressful. Underway, the single diesel gives you respectable cruising speeds while still offering good efficiency. It's not a slow, heavy displacement hull, but it performs well for coastal cruising and inland waterways. Inside, the design feels updated. Large windows, a bright cabin, and smart use of space make it surprisingly comfortable. There's a proper berth forward, a usable galley, and even a small guest area. For someone downsizing from a bigger boat or stepping into cruising later in life, the R31 provides modern systems and easier handling without feeling cramped. It's a practical, user-friendly platform for relaxed cruising. The Albin 36 Trawler is one of those boats that quietly earns respect. It doesn't always get the spotlight, but owners tend to hold on to them for a long time. This is a traditional trawler with a solid reputation. Many came with twin diesels, and the hull has a stable, comfortable ride at displacement speeds. It's well suited for coastal cruising and extended trips. The layout usually includes a roomy salon, a down galley, and 2 staterooms. It feels balanced, not oversized, not cramped, just practical. For a couple planning to cruise seasonally or full-time, it offers the right mix of space and efficiency. The side decks are secure, and the overall feel of the boat is steady and confidence-inspiring. It's not flashy or modern, but it does what it's supposed to do. For a man over 60 who wants a dependable cruising boat with classic lines and a sensible layout, the Albin 36 is a smart, understated choice that's proven itself over decades. At the end of the day, turning 60 doesn't mean slowing down. It just means you get a little smarter about how you do things. The right trawler isn't about impressing anyone at the fuel dock. It's about comfort underway, a layout that doesn't wear you out, and systems you can actually understand without a laptop and a software update. It's about being able to cruise all day, drop the hook in a quiet cove, and wake up the next morning feeling good instead of sore. Every boat on this list has proven itself in the real world. Some are heavy and traditional, some are more modern and easy to handle. But they all share one thing. They're built for steady, confident cruising. If you're in that stage of life where time matters more than speed, a good trawler might be the best decision you ever make on the water. Let me know which one you'd pick. And if you've owned one of these, I'd love to hear your experience.